3, 2.
Hello, Graham.
Oh, how marvelous to see. Did you have a wonderful Christmas?
Hello to those of you watching this. Unfortunately, Graham's connection is a little bit choppy today, so I'm sorry if you noticed that throughout the video. Luckily, his audio is still great, so feel free to close your eyes or close this window and just listen along this time. I assume that I did. I will be completely honest with the audience here.
Okay.
We are recording this before Christmas. We just wanted to have an episode to talk about what we do for New Year's without having to try and record it during Christmas times. So I'm sure that my Christmas was absolutely wonderful, as I'm sure yours was as well. Hopefully all of yours as home
Of course.
was also.
So I'm certainly looking for good during it.
Yeah, welcome back everyone to Tea at 3, Looking for Good. This will be a short little episode just with our thoughts about the new year, since it's coming up real soon.
Yes. Oh, well, and now it is something that is I've noticed that you love tradition in your family, and
I
you
do.
look
Our
forward
family
to
is
things.
quite big on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Trina and I did the same sort of thing. When we came, we were halfway through our lives at 40 years of age when we both became Christians in a rather quick way. And we decided that we'd had 40 years of making New Year's resolutions that didn't seem to work for very long. You know, I'm going to lose weight, and that lasted for about 2 weeks. and didn't work. So we thought, let's stop making New Year resolutions. We understand that there is a suggestion in Scripture which says that it is God that puts desires into one's heart. Now, we were really new Christians and we didn't understand what that meant. Some people said, I desire to have a Cadillac, and therefore expected to get a Cadillac. And we thought that sounded a bit grubby. So we thought this could be some things that we long to be able to do, like me writing to my children, for example. I was always so busy, I never got around to it. And so I would put that in, I put that as a desire that had been placed in my heart. So what we did is we had, and this is a record of the years that I've done this. And then Trina had an envelope like mine, and we would then place all of our cards every year. We would write cards. This is the sum total of all the cards of over 44 years of writing cards. So you write a card, you get a fresh blank card, and you write that card. And what you simply say on the card is what you think are the desires that you have in your heart for the year that's coming. Then you put it in its envelope, and then you open that envelope in the new year. So that
the next year?
Where is my one? Here. Yes, in the next year. For example, this is mine that I will be opening this time. Now, when I open that, I can't remember what it was that I wrote in that. But what happens when you open that card is you realize that there are things that you so want to have happen, and they did. Sometimes they did to such an amazing extent that you realize if God put the desire in there, He's in charge of the path, and somehow, and it is such a wonderful joy. So Trina would write hers and I'd write mine. I never looked at hers, never. And she never looked at mine. But when she passed, I was opening all of her cards. So I saw all of our life together, what she longed for herself and for me. And I matched that up with what I wanted for my life and her. And I put the one card into the other one so that they were together for that year. And then bound those up, and my kids can have that when I pass.
Oh.
But it is such a joy, my dear, I can't tell you, to think that I can desire something for my world and for the people around me as well. It's not just all self. And then you see these things happening a year later. It puts everything into a marvelous condition of not dependency, but relationship, of desiring something strongly and believing that desire might just be there because God wanted it there. So I just thought that you would love that idea.
I can only imagine how completely different my viewpoint would be had I written something at the end of last year versus now. A lot of things were different in the world a year ago.
Oh, and I can't wait to open this year, just to see what's going, because there wasn't a clue about what we've been through.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to writing my card this year for next year. Wow.
There's something really nice about the idea of New Year's resolutions. And yes, they often don't pan out. There's thousands that I've made that didn't get very far. But the nice thing is that it's at least like a good trigger to try to do something better for yourself is generally where it ends up being. Like, for me in the past, it has been a good trigger to like go to the gym more often, which of course I can't do now, but like in the past it's been like, I have a fresh start. I don't have to be burdened with all of the guilt of not doing that thing last year. I can do it now. I can start again on something. And that is actually, while most of my New Year's resolutions did fail, one of them, I think it was in 2000, when the year turned to 2019, I decided to stop purchasing beef. And that was the beginning of what became a year, I think I think by November that year, I was completely vegetarian. So it started slowly, just like I didn't want to contribute to the system that is the current like beef system. And so I decided to stop purchasing it. I was still eating it if someone else had prepared it for me, but I was no longer involved in that. And that like slowly stepped out throughout the next like 11 months into me becoming completely vegetarian. So that one was one that actually did work. And it was like, I haven't done a very successful New Year's resolution in a long time. I would like to do one that I think is fairly simple, like it's just not buying something. So starting small and working up to something ended up working out that time. So it's such a lovely experience to be able to like just let go of the guilt of last year and start again. Even though it's just the next day, there's not actually anything very different, but it's a good excuse to have that idea.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can see perhaps the idea of writing the card and then keeping the card and going back over several years, you begin to start to see there are trends. And in my case, I was sorry to see how often I wrote, I must write more to my children. Write them, not call them, not text them, not fax them, not Marco Polo them, but write to them. And it wasn't really until this Thanksgiving, as you remember, we talked about this one, I sat all day writing to my children. The first time I've written to every one of them in one day, 22 letters. And I felt so bonded to them as my family. After so many years of complaining to myself in my, I really think you put that desire in my heart. Really? So why didn't you do something about it? I was always down on myself with that. But this year, it actually happened, and I want to make it a new tradition for me. So I want to do that. Yeah. So my dear, you have had such an effect upon me. Not only have I become a sort of vegetarian, I say sort of because I still eat fish and eggs and milk. No cheese anymore, which is really tricky for me.
Yeah.
So I'm benefited through that hugely, but not just that, but you're just a joyful person. And I love your joy. I think it does my heart good. So thank you for the whole year of this new experience with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well. This has been something that I would have never at all predicted would happen in my life, but has been a really, really good experience to be able to talk to you every week. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we hope you have an absolutely wonderful new year. Perhaps you have a bunch of slightly unsuccessful New Year's resolutions and maybe one that helps you out a little bit, and that you find good and joy in that. We don't have to save the world one big chunk. We can just work towards it a little bit at a time. And that way we can keep on going. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Tea at 3, Looking for Good. I am Faye Schmidt. This is Graham Kerr. And I don't think we will see you next week, but we will see you the week after that, probably. Well, you'll find out, and so will we. One more thing, it does really help us out if you subscribe to this channel if you're not already, and like the video if you enjoyed watching. We also have a opportunity for your financial support, which helps us keep this program going. It's called patreon.com, patreon.com/tea@3. The link is also in the description below if you're willing to hop over there and donate just a little bit a month. That keeps you invested, that keeps us invested, and we get to keep going having this attitude looking for good. So thank you so much if you're already over there, and thank you for even considering going over there. We'll see you next time.
God bless. Bye-bye.